You have to remove the vacuum pump, and there's just, I think it looks like 6 small bolts. There they are, to remove the vacuum pump. And these are like, man, they might be in there 6 or 8 foot-pounds, 10 Newton meters. They're in there very lightly. And you got to replace the gasket. You can't use gasket maker to put this on there, because this little hole right here is for this channel. It's an oil gallery to oil this pump. And if you put gasket maker on there, it's going to clog up that hole and not function properly. So that's important when you remove the vacuum pump. And I would just also kind of inspect to make sure it turns freely. This one only has 98,000 miles on it. Looks to be in great condition. Okay, so what I've done now with the pump, I used the little locking tool, and we got the little dial right in the center, and I covered this up, the splines, with a rag, and then turned it with the pliers here. Be careful not to gall this up. I got right in the center. Now this pump is locked in place, and this is ready to go in the engine.
And you had to use the one that they sent you, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So on the EDC pump, the electronic pump that came off the engine, this one doesn't work. I ordered another one and actually took a cutoff wheel or grinder and just made it a little bigger. But this works on the electronic pump, but this one actually works better on the mechanical pump. And this is like a V-shaped slit in the bottom of this one, where this is not a V-shaped slit. This is anyway. So when you're doing this, you'll know what I'm talking about when you try doing this. All right. So where's the gasket?
Gasket is sitting right over there.
Okay. So we're gonna put this gasket on. We're gonna put this gasket on here, and all right. We'll put this gasket on here like that. Looks good to me.
And then we had taken and put some grease around that hole so that
Anti-seize.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to try to do is, the bolts are, where are the bolts? Are they in there?
Yeah, they're in there. They're lined up.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to. How's this going to go here?
That's also why he did have these bolts lined up right at the edge, because...
Yeah, but I think I'm going to have to remove
Oh.
that factory bracket there.
Oh.
Is this a different size? Let's go compare these pumps.
I think it's
Oh, yeah.
bigger.
It's a lot bigger. So I'm just going to set that there. And let's remove some of this crap here. What is this one? That looks like a 13 millimeter. So what this is see the bracket on the, this is where the back of the injection pump mounts. So this bracket here, come around and get a straight on view of it. See how, there we go. See how this bracket is much longer and this one's shorter? So the actual mechanical pump, it's a longer pump, so it requires a shorter bracket. Here's the electronic pump, and you can see there's the difference. So we've put this bracket on here. What we did is disconnected the EGR, got it loose, and so we can kind of slide it out of the way. And then there was a bracket here. I think it was for holding, there it is over there, the turbo intercooler pipe. We removed that bracket because everything's in the way. This pump is bigger. Man, this is all, there we go. I need to push this forward here. And look at that. This, see, I got to get this bracket lined up with there. I'm going to try to come around here. All right, can you move, see the throttle linkage is hitting, push it forward so it's out of the way? There we go. There we go.
You're gonna want that lined up with that. And you gotta watch that screw too, down there.
All right. All right, I'm gonna come out a little bit and angle it a little bit different. Oh, there we go. That's getting a little better. All right, so we had to actually stop recording and finagle this thing in. But you can see the bracket is lined up back here, and we've got the little backing bolts on. These are like square nuts on the back of the bolts here. But we got it slid in, and the locking device is still in there. Let's go put this in the front. See if that goes in, and it's counterclockwise, tightens it, right?
Yes.
Oh, good. It screws right in there. Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise.
This is not a very strong bolt. I read something about it being designed to break if it's over torqued. So you only want 33 foot-pounds or 45 newton meters on this bolt. Well, since it's reverse thread, your torque wrench is not going to click when you're trying to tighten it. So the way I did this, I just set my torque wrench to 33 foot-pounds and put a bolt in a vise just to get a feel for what that feels like. It's not very much. It's just a very firm pull. So I just did about the same, firm pull to put that back on there. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys that. So when you remove the pump, you need to take off the original fuel filter housing. Now this housing has two bolts right there. I'll put them back in the block. There they are right there. They screw down into the block through the head. So this mounts here. Now when you're removing the lift pump, this lift pump is going to go back into the new pump with a gasket, but you can clip this line, you can clip this line. This one, Diesel Pump UK, this goes around the back into this fitting right here. And the banjo bolt for the electronic pump, this is the one for the electronic pump. This is longer, okay? That's a longer pump. You can see there's no boss right here on the back. But if you look at the original electric pump, see how there's a boss right there? It sticks out. So that bolt is longer to make it into there. And Diesel Pump UK, he supplies the correct size bolt when you're putting it back together. You're also going to need some new copper washers. I've got a little bag of those.
I don't think we ever mentioned too that before you put this on there about taking that bolt down 5.
Oh yeah, so this is the fine adjustment. You can back up a little bit. This is the fine adjustment for your timing, injection pump timing. You can rotate this inward or outward. And we put this, we screwed it down like a centimeter, 5 millimeters, something like that, to get it out of the way. Why did we screw that down a little bit? I guess we're watching the video over here. We have our YouTube channel here of Diesel Pump UK is showing us how to do it. And we're just doing exactly what it is in the video. So I guess we're going to find out why we screwed that thing down a little bit. But anyway, put the bolt back in here. I guess we can take this out now. Still on 10 degrees, so everything should be good. That injection pump is in there. Cool, there's the throttle linkage, looks beautiful. Yeah, so let's watch some more of this video and see what they're saying. Okay, I've mounted the fuel filter housing back on here, and I've used the bolt supplied by Diesel Pump UK. It's the shorter one, and it looks like there's like, if you look at the back of the bolt here, I'll show you what it looks like on the EDC pump. See, there's like a little, looks like there's a little check ball or check valve, or there's a ball on the back of it. Anyway, make sure you use that bolt. And these are washers I just got off of, I think, Auto House. I don't know if that's a part number or not, but some new copper crush washers. And have those, you can see in there. Now I'm just looking for the gasket to mount the, what do you call that, the lift pump or whatever you call this thing. I'm just looking to see where that gasket is. Okay, so I just cleaned up the vacuum pump in the parts washer. Just going to put the Mercedes gasket on here, and the gasket has two little clips so it stays in place so you can mount it. Let's see how this goes. There we go. Oops, sorry. So there we go. The gasket goes under like that, and these little clips just go up on the top of the gasket and press in like that, and so it holds the, there you go, so it holds the gasket in place so you can mount it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the front of the engine, and you need to make sure these little, I don't know what they are, these little tabs here, make sure they're aligned so they clip in to these tabs here. All right, got this back on there. Now these little bolts, I mean, you barely, these might be 6 foot-pounds, 8 foot-pounds. It's not much at all. It's going into aluminum. So you just kind of barely tighten these guys. And also the little rubber plug that comes on the back of the Diesel Pump UK for the fuel line, you can just use that to cap off the pump so you don't get anything, vacuum pump, so you don't get anything down in there. Anyway, going to hook up the rest of these lines now.